Lori here. I'm back. If you have not been following my reading vlogs recently, then you will not know this, but my room has having some issues. It's sort of flooded, so I'm out of my setup. I'm actually completely redoing my bedroom over the next couple of weeks. So pardon my backdrop until then. This is actually my parents' room because my room doesn't have anything in it. It's just a room that we still have to fix. So if you notice my filming schedule and filming stuff looks a little bit out of sorts in the next couple of weeks, I do apologize. This happened very, very suddenly over spring break, and that's why my reading vlogs, the background is going to be a little bit different. But I am on, so I just tried to do a challenge for myself to read as many arcs in the first half of the month on NetGalley that I can get through. So this past week, I was able to complete 2 physical arcs on my commute back and forth. But since I'm home and my Kindle battery is not the best, I am going to switch over to physical arcs that I also have e-copies of, so I can keep getting my NetGalley score a little bit lower. So I'm sort of pulling from like 10 different reads. The Gildan ones by Narna Forna, which is a recent Owl Crate pick. The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Porter, which is a recent Book of the Month pick that I actually picked up at Target. The Universe of Wishes, which is a short story anthology edited by Danielle Clayton. And if I wind up getting that one, I'll probably read it through the course of the weekend. Warriors of something. It's the sequel to Sisters of Shadow and Light. That sequel. I have an e-arc of that and also a physical copy. Super Fake Love Song by Davy June. Extraordinaries by T.L. Kuhn, or T.J. Kuhn, I think. It's the same author that wrote House on the Cerulean Sea. Kissing Lessons by Sophie Jordan. The Deceivers by Kristen Simmons. Grim Lovelies by Megan Shepherd, and Eventide. So those are the books I'm going to sort of pull for this reading vlog. I also have a major goal to catch up on all my DC TV shows this weekend, which is quite ambitious, and I'm probably going to start that tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going to go pick my next read. I'll come in, we'll chat a little bit about it. I hope I can find it, because some of these books are not in easy to access locations, but I'm going to go pick my next read, and then we'll chat about it. Friends, so the book I'm going to read first for this mini reading vlog is Super Fake Love Song by David June. I got an e-arc of this from one of the conventions I went to, and then my friend sent me a physical copy. So I'm going to start with this one. It's a super fun contemporary, and I have been reading a lot of diverse books this month, sort of not planned, but I really have liked everything that I read, and this is another one that sort of reminds me of Rent a Boyfriend that I read recently. But you follow this guy named Sunny. He's a nerd, but due to some weird turn of events, the girl that he likes winds up thinking that he's like in like a band. That just sounds fun. And David Yoon is also the husband of Nicola Yoon, who wrote The Sun Is Also a Star, which is a very, very popular YA contemporary series. So I'm really excited to start this one. I'll probably give you guys like a 50-page update once I start it, and I hope I enjoy this one because it's been on my TBR for quite a bit of time. So talk to you guys when I have an update. Bye. Lori here, I'm back. It's about 8:30. I did wind up working out. I woke up really early to go work out at the Yoga Shack virtual classes, which I'm really liking. I think I'm going to try to make that my routine, which will be hard, but it's an early class, and I'm trying to look up to balance my schedule a little bit more. But also last night and this morning, I wound up reading about 50 pages of Super Fake Love Song by David June. It's been a bit since I read a male-led contemporary that has no female counterpoint point of view. It's been a bit. So I'm really liking it. He has a very interesting writing style. We basically follow this guy named Sunny, and he's a geek. He's a nerd. He likes like action figures. He likes role playing. He has a YouTube channel. But when his parents convince him to help one of their co-workers' daughters, he winds up getting sucked into a lie that he's basically in a band because his older brother is in a band and his parents have basically disowned him and he is living in LA. So he kind of takes on this identity with this girl, and that's all I've read so far. I do like the writing style. I think it's really, really fun. It's a little bit of like it's kind of a cheeky thing because like he says things I would never say to a teacher. like in all of my years in school, but I think that's just sort of the point. It's just how David Yoon sort of writes it. But I read about 50 pages. I really am liking it. Actually, 55 pages to be specific. So I have to do a bit of organizing today. I have to do my blog, my Instagram, do my post on Instagram. I have to do a bunch of little stuff. I might film a video. I don't know. But I definitely do want to catch up on my CW shows today. I also do want to read a chapter in How to Avoid a Climate Disaster because I've been putting that off, and do a little bit of my Skillshare class, which I've also put off since my room has been a complicated mess. So I'm going to go read this. I'm going to go watch a little bit of Skillshare, and when I'm done, I'll come back and we'll sort of talk through what I'm going to do today before I head to town. But I wanted to get done all my R&D stuff before then. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Here I'm back. So it's about 9 o'clock. I did wind up reading my fifth chapter in How to Avoid a Climate Disaster by Bill Gates. I also found this new series on Skillshare that I'm watching by Thomas Frank, which is all about sort of organizing and setting yourself up for success, which I thought is really apropos because I will be redoing my entire bedroom in the next couple of weeks. So what I'm going to do is I am going to try to get through all of my to-do lists this week. This weekend I have a bunch of stuff I need to do, like my blog, my Instagram, my blog posts, and stuff like that, just so everything's sort of done. And then I'm probably going to head up to town. But I want to make sure everything's done. I do want to make some progress on watching my TV shows because I fell so far behind. I'm probably going to be here all weekend just watching them. But yeah, once I'm done with my R&D stuff, I will check in with you guys. And I hope to listen to also a little bit of Marie Kondo's book today. When I go venture with Super Fake Love Song. I hope to make a bunch of progress on this book as well. Also, last night I did watch Game Changers, the Mighty Ducks show, which I am adoring. Definitely one of my favorite Disney Plus shows to date. I also watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I will admit, I really like the actors in that show, but the show is not as captivating me much as WandaVision. I will still keep watching because I really do like the actors. And I hope it gets a little bit more interesting, but I am intrigued enough to keep watching. It's just not my favorite. So I'm going to go do my organization stuff and my stuff that I have to do, my scheduling stuff, and I'll be back when I'm done with all those things. Bye. It's Laura here. It's about 10:07. I am going to watch one episode of Nancy Drew while I'm sort of reading Super Fate Lug Song in the background. My room painting is coming along a lot quicker than I thought it was going to do, so it's possible that once I go to town and go to the library and do all this stuff, I might be able to come back and just sort of start organizing. That is my hope. It's a hope, but I am going to watch one episode of Nancy Drew and read a little bit of Super Fake Love Song in the commercial breaks, and when I'm done with that episode, I'll check in with you guys, and I'll give you guys a time check and tell you guys what I plan to do for the next little bit of time. It's probably going to involve taking a walk up to town, but we will see. So you guys in a bit. Laura here, just checking back in. I did actually wind up running up to town. I wound up reading a little bit more of Super Fake Love Song. I think that's the name of the title. Yeah. By David Yoon. But the one thing I've been focusing on, because I'm in the process of redoing my room, is listening to Marie Kondo's The Art of Tidying Up. And it will be a journey, I think, to sort of organize everything. I'm sort of excited, though. I don't think I've ever really did it to this degree, sort of went through everything. I have a big, life goal, maybe during this process, to sort of get all my physical books to fit in my bedroom. That's a little bit of an ambitious goal, but I do hope I can probably do it. I have a lot of storage space that I'm not really utilizing for books, so I'm hopeful. But also, I have so much stuff. I have moved, 4 to 5 times in my life. I went to college, I went to a couple of summer camps, I've been abroad, so it's just a lot of stuff that I have accumulated. I never really went through everything to that degree. I think it's going to be an interesting adventure. I don't think it's going to happen overnight. It's probably going to finish early summer. But yeah, so I really don't want to start that process really until I finish reading The Art of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. So I think I'm going to go for a bike ride because it's actually a really pretty day outside, and just sort of read in the park for a little bit and listen to my audiobook when I'm sort of running back and forth. But I do miss my own space. I also have a thought about my TBR box because I have a lot of books. So one of the thoughts I'm sort of flicking around in my head a little bit is to literally go through all of my TBR books and to do two things. To look to see if Hoopla and my library has it, or to look to see if it's free on Audible. And then just sort of kind of go from there and just sort of make a list like where these books are, and only keep the books that I'm really interested in physically reading. It's also super hard though, because I do have a Bookstagram. Like, I do Bookstagram. If you guys don't follow me, the link will be in the description box. So I always want to have books on hand. And also, we don't know if physical conventions are going to open back up ever again. I'm sure that they will, but just to the degree that I've done them. And I have so many books from that last convention last January, ALA, that I went to with a couple of my friends. So I'm just sort of like hesitant to get rid of anything, but I know it's better because books come out all the time, and I know that. So it's just a thought that's sort of going back and forth in my head a little bit. So yeah, that's sort of where I'm at. I am gonna go for a bike ride as soon as I could figure out how to open up the garage, because I might bike somewhere else because of construction and all that other stuff. But I will check back in when I come back from my bike ride, and I'm gonna see if maybe I want to start cleaning today. I don't think I'm going to start cleaning today, though. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But I want to be done with Marie Kondo's book before I start. So I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. Bye. Here I'm back. It's about 6:30. I did wind up doing a little bit of cleaning and organizing. Nothing, I just literally just took stuff out of closets and just threw stuff away. I went through all of my clothes, which I have a lot of clothes. So I went through all of my clothes and I threw stuff out. It was a big process. It's almost 6:30. I did make a little bit of listening progress on The Art of Tidying Up. It's just hard right now because even if I wanted to put all my scrapbook stuff somewhere, there's no place to put it because all my furniture is out of my bedroom. So it's just it's a little bit of a hard it's a hard thing to do because I have stuff. I don't even know if I'm going to keep all the stuff that I said I'm going to keep, but I just want to keep it for the moment. I want to get back to having a scrapbook area and also a filming area and just, that stuff. And I haven't had that in a while. I haven't had that in a bit. So I'm just sort of trying to think everything out, but until I get all my furniture pieces, I'm sort of in a bind. So we'll see how that all goes. But I do want to read a little bit more of Super Fake Love Song. I did wind up getting up to page 100, and one thing I noticed is that Sunny's brother has returned to town, the actual musician, and they are having a little bit of a battle of wills. But it's a fun read. It's very, very fun. I like that it's a male main character. You don't get those nearly enough in contemporary, especially an only male narrator point of view. So I'm going to read a little bit more. I have an hour true crime video to watch. I'm going to put on background noise, and then when I'm done with that, I'll give you guys a check-in. I'm sort of tired because I just cleaned all day, but very, very good progress. I just wish I'm happy that all this stuff happened with my room. I just wish the floor was down and my bed was here and my bookshelves were here, because that would make the whole next process a lot easier, but it's going to be a slow going process. So I'll see you guys when I'm done with my true crime video and let you guys know how many pages I've read and what are my thoughts. It's about 8:20. I did wind up getting up to about page 150. I think it's 146 in Super Fake Love Song by David Yoon. I really like Sunny's point of view. Again, he's a very, very unique character. David Yoon has a very interesting writing style. I like the concept that he sort of has a fake identity to impress this girl, and I think it's gonna go in a very, very interesting direction towards the end of the book, especially. But I also like that he's sort of becoming a little bit more invested in the music element, which I wasn't necessarily expecting. But he also has this passion project, a YouTube channel that he's working on with his friends, and that's sort of falling by the wayside a little bit. And I just think it's interesting. It's a very, very fast-paced read. I really like him as a character. You also learn he has a very interesting way of writing other people from Sunny's perspective, the parents or the friends or the teachers, and I do really enjoy that. I know people struggled with Frankly in Love, and I haven't read that one, but I'm really liking this one. There isn't much. You're learning a little bit more as we go on about the love interest, but she isn't wowing me. I'm not in love with their romance yet. Hope we'll get to that point, but I'm intrigued enough to keep reading. So I will update you guys tomorrow. I'm going to watch a couple of episodes of Nancy Drew. Might watch an episode of The Regulars. Tomorrow I'm going to see what we're going to do. I might do some shopping with my mom. I'm unsure. She just had knee surgery, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm definitely going to go to yoga. So I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. Bye. Friends, Laura here. I'm back. It's about 8:17 on Sunday, April 11th. I always get my months wrong. It's been a weird year. Last night I did wind up watching a couple of episodes of Nancy Drew. I am really far behind on my CW shows. That's what happens. I either spend some time watching my shows on the weekends or my YouTube videos. I never watch both, and one always falls by the wayside. Recently, it's been actual TV shows. So, I have to play a little bit of a catch up. I also spent the morning, I worked out for a little bit. I cleaned my room again. I sort of went through all of my scrapbooking stuff, threw everything out that I hadn't used. I have been saving stuff for so many years for like the perfect project. I just threw it out, and I'm gonna, when my whole room is done and I'm organized and set, I'm gonna do a big Michaels run and just sort of get a few crafting stuff that I've always wanted to try, and just sort of try to make more time in my life for crafting, because I really do like to craft. But since I got hired at IS10, it's definitely been not been doing that very often, just because I've been frantically doing so many other things to prep to be a teacher, especially because I got hired so late and haven't any prep time. I had like 2 days. So I always feel like I'm playing catch up in that, but I feel like I'm pretty much solid. Like, I do have a set curriculum. I have stuff I can reteach. I have a lot of materials that I can use again and again and again. So I feel more confident giving myself some free time for other things like traveling maybe or crafting. So I feel really, really good about that. I read a little bit more of Super Fake Love Song by David Yoon. Really enjoying that. I said before, I'm not the biggest fan of the love of like the actual romance between the two characters, but it's a fun read. I also think I'm probably gonna finish Marie Kondo's The Art of Tidying today. I was kind of sort of reading it when I was cleaning, but it does have a lot of information, and I think I'll probably get the Spark of Joy chapter. I'll probably get that book, that mini read as well, because the next couple of weeks when I'm sort of like sorting through everything is kind of going to be hard. So I'm just going to kind of like mentally listen to that book and see what that means when you have a spark of joy, when you hold something. So that's probably be my plan. I'm going to go do some of my Skillshare classes because I've fallen a little bit far behind on those as well. And I'll check in with you guys before I head to yoga. Bye. Laura here. I just got back. I didn't wind up doing any of the things I said in the previous clip because my mom took me to Unique to drop off a bunch of stuff that we were donating. But when I went to yoga, I had a little bit of time, so I did wind up getting up to part 3 in Super Fake Love Song. I really am enjoying this book. He has a very unique writing style, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. Like, I don't hate it and I don't love it. I'm just sort of in between. But I'm liking the book to keep reading. I think Sunny's a very, very interesting character, and I really like reading from his point of view. It's a very, very fun read. So I just got home. It's a really, really rainy day out. So I think I'm just going to kind of try to finish Nancy Drew, all the episodes that are currently out. So when I read another, like, let's see, I'm on page like 186. So when I maybe get to page like 225, I'll probably give you guys an update. But I am liking it. I'm finding it fun. I don't want to put it down. It's a super fast-paced read. I like Sunny as a character. I like the side characters. Still not really feeling the love story. I think that's because he is lying to her, and I don't know how that's all going to turn out. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the developing brother bond. So I'm going to go watch a little bit of Nancy Drew, read in the background, and I'll update you guys when I read about 50 more pages. Talk to you guys in a bit. Laura here. I keep getting distracted because I keep having to do stuff to clean my room, but I'm getting frustrated because I'm cleaning and I'm organizing, but I don't know how much space I actually have anymore because everything is sort of out of my room and I can't put anything back in my room, or like I don't have a bed. So it's just hard to like decide what to keep when you don't know how much space you have or what your furniture is going to look like or where anything's going to go. So it's a lot. I did wind up doing a bit more book unhauling. I kind of looked through my TBR cart and kind of took out the books that I've had for so long and just don't see myself reading. I'm going to do a video about that once everything is all together, how I'm going to use my TBR carts, but it's a process. I also sorted through the rest of my scrapbooking stuff, which I still am not done sorting through because I don't know what I want to keep at this point. So yeah, but I did wind up getting up to page 253 in Super Fake Love Song by David Yoon. I'm really curious how this book is gonna kind of transpire, because like we're getting pretty close to the end and he's still faking his rock star life, but they're getting better at being rock stars, which was not something I necessarily predicted. I still think it's gonna blow up in his face, which it probably will, but I have about like 100 pages left. So also still watching Nancy Drew. They're giving George a very interesting plot line this season that I'm really, really enjoying. It's about 2:30, so it's also been a very, very rainy and wet day, so I didn't actually wind up going to work out like I wanted to. But I'm going to read about 50 more pages of this, and then I'll give you guys another update. Bye. Lori here. I'm pleased to report that I have moved back into my bedroom for the foreseeable future. As you can see, we painted the walls, which is really exciting. It's still not, like, I don't have a box spring or anything, but I do have a bed, which is nice. But yeah, it's just nice to have my own space again. I hope that filming on my Instagram is still going to be a little bit off, but hopefully now that I have sort of a spot, I can actually like start to film stuff for you guys again and not feel like it's awkward. So just want to do this quick update. When it's officially done, I'll probably do like a room tour and stuff like that. But I do have my cart back and stuff. It's not that amazing, but it's doable for the moment. I'm excited to have my own space back. So I'm going to go get to reading, and I'll update you guys when I get up to page 350 or like 300, I think, in that read. Talk to you guys in a bit. Claire here and back. It's about 5 o'clock. I have one more episode of Nancy Drew to catch up on. But we went up getting up to page 308 in Super Fake Love Song by David Yoon. I have been reading a lot of books by like Asian American that have Asian American authors or like have Asian American characters. This is the first book that I've read out of all of those books where I actually really like the parents in the story. I think that Sunny's parents are really interesting and really different. And I sort of like seeing a diversity in the parent structure, because most of the times when you read these books, you see very hard parents that don't have any sympathy for their kids and want to put their kids on one track. But I really like the development of the parents in this. And I just really like Sunny and his family's whole relationship. I also think the conflict or the blow up was sort of expected, but that sort of going in. One thing I didn't expect in this book is how much Sunny really enjoyed his music life. That was not something I really expected. But I will be curious to see how this book ends. I also thought that the development of the friendship dynamics between Sunny and a couple of other characters was really different. As well. I also hope that like he still does like the whole thing he's been trying to like get this YouTube collaborator to work with him because he makes like miniatures. And I hope that plot point comes back, because I think it's important that he has passions in life other than music as well. But I really am liking it. I have about 68 pages left. It's definitely a fast-paced read. I would definitely read more by this author in the future because I like his writing style. I know people struggle with Frankly in Love, but I'm going to give it a shot. I have it somewhere in this house. But yeah, I'm going to read the last 50 pages and then I'll give you guys another check-in. Bye. Laura here, just checking back in. It is about 6 o'clock and I did actually wind up finishing Super Fake Love Song by David Yoon. I'm actually really like this book. I like that we finally have an author that's writing books from a solely male perspective. It's been so long since I read one. I think the last one I read was Galgorithm. That was like a male lead. I find them so rare in YA novels. I know that it's very, very popular in adult novels, but I just really like Sunny as a character. I also thought that David Yoon did a really interesting take on Asian life and Asian culture that I don't think I really read before. The romance grew on me. I don't think the romance was my favorite, but I really did like Sunny's development throughout the whole book. I thought it was really, really fun. I thought it was also realistic how friendship and relationships change in a story. I also like the family elements and the brother relationship. You really don't see that enough. You see a lot of sister dynamics, but not enough brother relationships. I also like how creative careers, like being an artist, was at the heart of this, being a musician. It was a really, really fun read. I definitely want to check out Frankly in Love, which I have in my room somewhere. Also, during this reading vlog, I did do a lot of cleaning. So I also read Marie Kondo's The Art of Tidying Up, which is still a project. I have about an hour left. I'll probably finish reading it tomorrow. But I'm gonna go get ready for my next reading vlog, which will be a work week reading vlog, and I will talk to you guys for my next one. Let me know in the comments what book are you currently reading, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.